It was a question of, will I be able to sustain this pace to the finish line? And if I do, will that get me to the finish line in sub 3 hours?
Come on, boys! Let's go! Let's go, boys!
A sub 3 was just one of my goals that I've had since I started running.
I'll be fine.
Setting yourself a goal of shaving like 32 minutes off a marathon isn't an easy feat. I genuinely thought it would take 2 marathons to get there, 2 sets of training blocks at the bare minimum. It's like 5-6 weeks out, I hadn't actually run the pace that I need to run for even a half marathon. And I was like, oh, maybe this pace is too quick. Like maybe I actually can't do this. I initially was apprehensive receiving kit, being told this is what you have to run in. But once I put on the shoes, I was like, yeah, these are fast. Like these are very, very fast shoes. Adding the kit with the coach, with the training, with everything just like falling into place and the additional weeks of training, this gave me the confidence that I needed. Infuriatingly, and as much as I love everyone that has asked how I'm feeling about tomorrow, that's the worst thing you can do. The one thing I wanted to do was ignore the fact that I was running 42 kilometers the next day. The reality will hit you when you go to pick up your bib.
It's real now. I don't really want to do it.
When you wake up, then that's time to get in the zone. Spend the morning doing everything you've practiced before, the same breakfast. By then it's become a ritual, and once you start it off, it's like a domino effect, and it cascades into this like peak performance ritual. My paces is going to be Alexandros, Nathan, Tom and Henry, 4 of my very, very good friends and 4 people I've been training with for this whole training block. So they entered as relays. This wasn't like a run for me. I know I'd done the work, but we'd done the work. We'd all run together. Every single one that's come up to watch me, I've run with, I've trained with. We're a sum of our parts, and that was the final point of all of our hard work and all of our training. On the start line, me and Alex together, I chose him specifically to be the first pacer. I need someone that can get me calm and composed. Mile 1, strong. Mile 2, strong. I saw the 3-hour pacer pass me at like 5K in. I was like, am I going too slow? But and then obviously I'd spoken to my coach and we had a race strategy in place, and that was to start off really, really much slower than I needed to and then really pick it up. It was like a 30K warm-up and a 10K race.
We're beautifully on pace. We're just cruising right now.
Alex, so knowledgeable, and I just needed him to keep me calm, make sure I don't start off too strong. I think at 5 kilometers in, I was feeling very, very strong. I was a little bit apprehensive that we went out a bit too quick. We were trying to get away from the initial like crowd of everyone and try and get into our stride. I literally saw the 10K mark, I'm like, oh, we're here already. The leg I ran with Alex breezed past. So by the time I got to Nathan, he is a strong runner too, and I just needed him to keep the flow that Alex and I had built up. Thankfully, it was very windy when he was with me, and he takes up like 3 lanes. So I just sat behind him for most of the run.
Nathan's... Thank you, how you doing? You right? Good luck. Nathan's blocking all the wind from me, so I'm chilling.
Hey! Run from the running channel! Can I get a cameo in your next video?
Of course. By request.
Because it was a looped course, like being able to see my cheer squad 3 times in the start, halfway through, and then like 1 mile from the finish. You just need those bursts of energy every single time. I can't thank them enough. They delivered. Every single lap there was a new cannon going off.
We got a few sprinkles of rain, which potentially could give some help to Mo, just to alleviate some of the heat. Just a touch too fast on the downhill, so we just rode the downhill, and then we kept cruising through. We found a really good flow and pace. I know he loves to have a good chat, so I politely asked him to try and retain his breathing and his energy.
20K in was when my first little niggle came about, and that was in my left quad. It wasn't unbearable. It was a pain that I was like, if I just push through, it will disappear, and it did.
Thank you so much. Gotta do Sarah's technique.
Drink it.
Pinch and sip. Pinch and sip. Kobe, 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 Kobe.
I think he's definitely going to do the sub 3. He's been training super hard, he's super dedicated. And yeah, woo, go Mo!
We love you!
We love you, man!
He's so, once he sets his sight on a goal, like he's so for sure going to achieve it. Like no matter what he has to do, he'll just keep running. I say until his feet bleeds, but he's got those Under Armour fresh crepes on, so I think his feet are going to be fine. He's got his team like pacing him, his boys, they won't let him miss that goal.
Then I got to Tom, where I knew I ticked over the half distance now, and Tom, out of the 4 of them is the most experienced runner. He's been running for many, many, many years. And I chose him there because in my head, that was going to be the most important leg, maybe not the hardest leg, but the most important. If I get that right, everything else works.
He's looking really, really strong. I know how it feels at 22k and he's still like absolutely flying. Smile on his face, everything.
Welcome back to my niggle. It did not want to leave. Came back 25k in, salt tablets started. Felt comfortable, but I was like, okay, maybe it's not going to be a 250 race. Maybe it's going to be a bit more difficult. I want to say like a massive thank you as well to Under Armour for having the belief in me to be able to achieve this goal. I think it's so important to know that the shoes that you are wearing have won races before. They work for me, they work for Sharon Lakidi, and they work for so many other elites. But these shoes help me go faster on race day, so follow the instructions on screen if you want to have the same experience. Sorry, I should really throw it at you, Tom. I was just about to leave Tom and get to Henry. I've done a half marathon at that pace before, but this is where holding this pace and at this distance was unknown territory for me.
Smashing that out of this run, and I'm so proud of him, honest to God. Keep going, Mo, keep inspiring people, keep pushing on. It's very lit, that's what the younger kids say nowadays, it's lit. We're all turning up, we've got everybody out here, we're all dancing. It's amazing out here today.
I'd run out of salt tablets, I'd left Tom, and I was mentally fatigued, physically fatigued. I started cramping, and it was, is this pain gonna go away? I didn't have the answer to that. After mile 21 though, things went a little bit downhill. I had my pacer in front of me and I told him to hold the pace that I needed to hold and not to turn around and worry about me. And I told him I'll catch up. But he just kept getting further and further away and I just couldn't catch up. It was a question of, will I be able to sustain this pace to the finish line? And if I do, will that get me to the finish line in sub 3 hours? It was torturous. My head was focused. My legs weren't moving the way my head needed them to move. And I felt my pace like slowly tick away. You know when you're just trying to hold on to something but you can feel it leave your grasp? I didn't know if I was going to cross that line.
Let's go! Let's go!
It was at that point where I felt nothing but euphoria.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Come on, man! Let's go! Let's go, man!
I was with my crew.
Keep pushing it, bro. Keep pushing it. Let's go, Mo!
You got it, you got it!
Cramping up 300 to 500 meters away from the finish line, not ideal.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! Let's go, Mo! Come on, Mo!
Like I would liberated myself of any sort of time. I was just in the moment, trying to cross the finish line in one piece.
Come on!
Genuinely didn't know if I was going to make sub 3. I didn't have the energy to try and look at my watch to see the countdown.
Come here, brother.
So when I crossed the line, I had no idea if it was a 259 or a 3:00, like 5. I had no idea.
Thank you guys so much.
What time did you run?
It's 2:59:51. I'm gonna throw up every jump.
I don't care!
Thank you so much.
Well done, mate. Great job. Well done.
Seeing my mum I was holding it in so well until I saw her. And knowing that you make your mum proud, I don't think there's a better feeling. She literally said, "I'm so proud of you, son. I didn't ever think you'd get here, not in the sense of sub 3, but we haven't had like the easiest life. She was like, I'm so proud that people have come to see you and look at how much love, she said it in Arabic obviously, but look at how much love that you've brought to these people, that they've come all the way up to show you the same back. You should be so proud of yourself as well. I don't think she knew my time though, but she was just proud of me regardless for crossing that line. If you set yourself a goal and it's too big, then just grow into the person that you need to be to achieve that goal. And that's what I think my sub 3 marathon was. I grew into a person that could achieve a goal that I thought was super unrealistic when I started running.